Hi everybody, this is Chloe Hudson with World Peace Projects. Thank you so much for joining me. So today I wanted to talk about the Akashic Records and the deception of the Akashic Records, to be more specific. Now, I'm wondering how this topic is going to go over. I think there's going to be a mixed bag of responses, and the reason being is because some people are highly dedicated and belief-oriented into the Akashic Records. Now, let's understand a bit about what I'm meaning when I say the Akashic Record. So, as per Wikipedia, if we look at the word Akasha, it is a Sanskrit term that means ether, sky, or atmosphere. So it's a term that the Buddha spoke of often in his teachings when he's referring to the Akasha and Nirvana. The term Akashic Records was further created, coined, or popularized by Theosophy followers such as Helen of Blavatsky, Rudolf Steiner, and the like. And it was spoken about the indestructible tablets in the astral realms that offer the information through all existence, all thoughts, all timelines, all experiences, what have you, have been recorded in the records of the Akash. Okay? So I have called my own space of accessing the all that is information, all consciousness communications. Back in the day when I used to channel, that's what I termed it. I termed it all consciousness communications. Because when we're accessing energetic space, it is accessible to the all that is, through the all that is, if one knows how to do that, right? Now, the Akashic Records is further proliferated and a coined, popularized term that's used widely throughout the New Age communities. A lot of people, when they're learning how to access the clear realms, the different extrasensory perceptions that they might be able to tap into, one tool that's used often is reading the Akashic Records. So, just like in Clairvoyant 101, a lot of people are also taught that they're going to access a literal hall of records, like an archive or a library, what have you. And in that space, if they know how to navigate it, just like one would through a library, you can access the different historical information that's been recorded on whatever person or topic it is that you're looking for more information or to seek. Now, the Akashic Records is an idea that has been created and popularized, and there have been a lot of 3D, third-dimensional, practical visualization techniques and affiliations connected to it. What do I mean by this? So, in a lot of clairvoyant kindergarten learnings, people are taught how to visualize in ways that their brains can grasp and comprehend much more easily. Now, most people that have been accessing the clair realms understand that you're utilizing a space of imagination, but it's very important to shift any beliefs that imagination is a fallacy or is an illusory space, and understand that when you're accessing the clair realms, when you're accessing the astral, imagination is very real. People have been indoctrinated, and even children, that their imagination isn't real, it's a fairy tale space. And of course, there is the space where we create our own dreamscapes, thoughts, goals, ideas, what have you. Though the actual space of imagination is a very potent, powerful space of creating and tapping into the astral realms. So when adults are learning clair abilities, especially if they're more mind-oriented, It's easier to visualize and tap into these spaces through more structural, compartmentalized visualizations, such as entering into a hall or a space of records, looking up the actual book or tablet in which you want to access information and reading it there. Maybe perhaps some people see it projected as a hologram. Maybe they enter into a room where suddenly the scene starts to play out, what have you. So a lot of people create their own methodology as a way in which they can implement these practical techniques so that they are more comfortable in the brain process to access the Akashic records. Now, there are many spaces in the astral realms that are recorded historical libraries as such, though it's important to understand, just like any library or any archive in existence, just because you're pulling information from this space, this library, first does not mean by any means that the writer, publisher, creator of those writings, those books, what have you, know what the heck is going on. Especially these days. Anybody can write a book, right? Doesn't mean that it's authentic, useful, truthful information. Could be. Hopefully it is. But it's a mixed bag, especially when you're accessing information, tablets, timelines, records that you don't know how they've been sourced, where they've come from, who put them there. You might not even know which hall of records you're accessing because it's astral space. Astral space is elusive by definition, right? And then when you're accessing that information, is this even legit? So, one thing that happens often with the Akashic records is they are wrought. They are chock full of holographic inserts. Now, a holographic insert is a relatively easy technology that can be implemented, and it is utilized in order to cover or divert the viewer from the truth of what has actually happened, been experienced, or played out. Examples of a holographic insert happens a lot in dreamscape. If anybody has ever had a dream where they're communicating or interacting with somebody that's appearing to them that they know in their conscious life, so that person is meant to be presented to seem as the individual that this dreamer actually knows in real life. Though, and this might not register for the dreamer until they wake up and process the dreamscape, but the person presented is meant to imposter or act as the person that they know in real life. But the truth of the matter is that wasn't them. There was something off about them, something different. They maybe looked completely different. Maybe it was obvious. But if you're not able to lucid dream, you weren't able to put your finger on it in real time in the dreamscape. Or maybe their voice sounded different. You know, this is a very common holographic insert. It's an imposter. It's meant to be inserted to cover something out, to steer you away from what actually happened, so that the truth is not actually revealed. Holographic inserts are extremely common in accessing timelines, past lives, what I call continual lifetimes, these types of situations. And if one doesn't understand how to read the frequency signature of a holographic insert, one can easily be duped. This is especially dangerous or misleading if it is a practitioner that's offering sessions such as soul retrieval or past life reading to a client, they're viewing or accessing through the Akashic records, as we're using this example, one of the client's timelines, past lives, whatever you might term it. And the reader themselves is not aware that what they're actually reading or viewing or accessing is a false timeline, or a timeline that has been injected with holographic inserts. And they're not able to understand this because possibly they don't know how to decipher the frequency signatures of the authentic or more authentic timeline and the holographic inserts that have been injected. If you are interested in learning how to read holographic inserts, I have a digital course on offer called Reading Frequency Signatures, where I work to break down such concepts as these and help you through practicum understand how to read frequency signatures and identify holographic inserts, and to get rid of them, to clear them. So you get this out of the way if you're working to access astral space. Now, the Akashic Records is something that is a term that's thrown around, and it's used and often coveted by many as the go-to space to source information. A lot of practitioners, a lot of light workers, a lot of energy workers, a lot of, way showers, whatever terminology you want to use, a lot of seekers are accessing the Akashic Records and placing a lot of blind faith into the information that they're getting back. And this is a very unwise thing to do, because as we've already stated, the information you're getting, you don't know where it's coming from. You don't know who put it there. You don't even know if it's authentic or if it's a real timeline. It's very easy to mock up timelines and skew information, to muck with the history, to embed false information. It happens all the time. We see it on the 3D plane constantly. That's also happening continuously in the Akash. And it has been intentionally targeted for a very long time for that reason, to skew the information. A lot of the past timelines have been mucked with, and all sorts of information down historical lines, regardless of what density, dimensionality, planetary body, what have you, you're accessing. There has been so much effort to fracture the truth and lead us askew, hence the inversion. So what I would suggest, if anybody's interested and has been utilizing the Akashic Records, especially heavily to access their information, is be extremely discerning. It could be authentic information you're accessing. Of course, that's possible. And it's also possible that it's not. So regardless of your ability to tap into these spaces, these places, can you discern and differentiate the frequencies, the energetics of what it is that's being presented to you? That's extremely important. And if anybody is offering this type of work to clients, or they're doing it for themselves in order to be ethical and safe around the information that you're representing, it's important to know how to clarify and be able to challenge what's put in front of you to see if it holds a candle to truth or not. I hope that this information has helped you guys. If you are interested in one-on-one sessions, consciousness coaching, I have a plethora of digital courses and classes on offer. Please go to worldpeaceprojects.org. I would love to see you there. I hope you're well. Thank you for liking and subscribing. Bye.